Good day, everyone. In this week's micro lecture, we will be examining the agile supply chain and the mass customization philosophies in a lot more detail. As previously discussed, the agile supply chain as a concept was developed by Professor Martin Christopher as a response to increased volatility and uncertainty within the supply chain environment. One of the cornerstones of the agile supply chain was that it lent itself to what we call mass customization. It focused on producing exactly what people wanted when they wanted to try and minimize the need for holding large amounts of inventory and offering the opportunity to save on costs. With agile supply chains, as you can see, figure 1 looks at a matrix diagram looking at volume and variety. Agile is needed in less predictable environments where demand is volatile, but people require a high variety of product. The agile supply chain has the ability to be virtual, to integrate processes, to be network based, and of course, offer some degree of market sensitivity, hence the appeal of the approach and the reason why it is widely used across the world. When it comes to mass customization, one of the key enablers of agility is its ability to provide or produce or end up with customized products at the end of the process. It involves customizing your standardized products into various different finished products using a principle known as postponement or delayed differentiation. This is shown in figure 3.5 that you would find in your textbook, both a before and after standardization, where the black circles represent semi-finished goods and your gray squares represent finished goods. As we can see, before standardization, there were many different semi-finished goods or work in progress. After standardization, the number of work in progress units decreased significantly, allowing us to produce the same amount of finished products. Think about a laptop computer. Laptop computers are a great example of the principle of postponement, where you have multiple standardized components that can be mass produced, that can take advantage of lean production, of economies of scale and large scale cost savings. But at the same time, you can customize your end product by taking those various components and configuring them in a way that speaks to what a specific customer would want. This is known as the principle of postponement. With agile supply chains, the whole point of the agile supply chain is to minimize your exposure to risk in the supply chain environment. And it does this by allowing you to have many finished products from a few semi finished products. That is the beauty of the principle itself. Various labels have been given to shared platforms and standardized products. We can call them a generic, a standard product, a component. But in a postponement system, the final value adding activities are delayed right up until the customer orders the product. That's called a decoupling point. When we change from a base product to a customized product, that is the decoupling point. The automotive industry, the computer industry, even a company like NetFlorist applies agile supply chains and postponement to allow them to customize the flowers, the arrangements, and the gifts based on a unique customer demand. Professor Martin Christopher best described agility as the ability to respond rapidly to any uncertainties or changes in demand. It's important to remember that the entire supply chain has to be invested in agility. Otherwise, it will not work. So, of course, we have to ask the question, which is better, lean or agile? Or are these mutually exclusive? This is just something for you to think about as you continue to work through the week's content. Thank you.